Hold the line. Love isn't always on time. What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Rec Talk. Ton of stuff going on as far as the ACC is concerned now. I made a video yesterday. I was incorrect about some things because, again, I'm a college football fan. I'm not an expert in contract law and all that nonsense, but I said yesterday that these teams, Florida State, Clemson, ACC, are making decisions on the branding initiative without the consent, basically, of the other teams in the ACC. That is incorrect. All the other teams in the ACC are going to have to vote on that. But, however, they would not sign this agreement with the ACC, Florida State and Clemson, if they didn't already know that basically they had the votes to push it across the finish line. So, before we go into what's happened today, what's changed? Because you see, Florida State fans are fist pumping on Twitter, aren't they? They act like they accurately predicted what was going to happen, which is not true. They said they've been saying they're getting out of the ACC, 5 days ago for 2 years now. They were told, nope, you're going to have to buy your way out of the grant of rights. And that is what they're going to do. Now, the difference is before the lawsuit, the ACC basically refused to give a figure for what it would cost to buy their way out of the grant of rights. So Florida State says, hey, we're pissed. We want to know what the number is to buy our media rights back so we can go somewhere else. And the ACC said, well, there is no number. Not selling, not giving you a number. So then Florida State's lawyers kind of throw a number out there. Well, we think our media rights are worth $700,114 over the next, however many years until 2036. Now, the ACC, as part of this settlement, is boiling that number down to 1. So instead of having a cost to buy your way out of the conference and a cost to buy your media rights back, the ACC is putting it into one number. And per the settlement, which Clemson, I believe, has agreed and signed to now, Clemson's AD has come out and basically singing the praises of the ACC and Jim Phillips because they're going to get a lot more money. But the number that is being thrown around, and check out College Football Mafia tonight. I'm going to go on there to be the village idiot when we're going to discuss these things. $165 or $175 million today to buy your way basically out of the ACC. Devilishly low number. So there's going to be a lot of people like, oh, well, shit, Florida State's going to be out tomorrow then. I don't know. I don't know if the Florida State has signed it as of the recording of this video. They might, but they're going to. Well, they're not going to jump out of the ACC today. As it appears to me, this kind of prolongs the ACC as it exists today for another 5 years. I think the buyout decreases $18 million a year up to 2030 or something, or to the end of it, which would put it, well below 100 million by 2030. If you remember, that's the time when the college football playoff, SEC, Big Ten, all their media rights deals are set to renew. So I've gone through like the 5 stages of grief over and over this because, again, I'm a college football fan. I don't really give a shit about any of this. Like, if I remember back to when the Big East, I guess, imploded and the ACC absorbed them, there, like, it wasn't this huge to do. It was just like, okay, this is happening. They're coming to the ACC. You know, now we talk about market shares and Nielsen ratings and contracts and lawyers and branding. Like, it was the weirdest thing ever to see Florida State fans last year go 2-10 and then post on Twitter, yeah, we might be 2-10, but look at this Florida State shirt I found in Wichita, Kansas. People don't care about winning anymore. That's what this has become. People care about winning in courtrooms. They care about their branding. And look, I hope Florida State gets out today, by the way. And I had a Florida State fan who was like, you're just salty, whatever, which is fair. I am salty about it because unlike, I guess, a lot of Florida State fans, I'm a fan of college football as a whole and all the things that made it great before things got stupid, right? Rivalries within conferences. Now I can even say conference title games going to be a thing of the past. No more conference title games. You're going to have 2 playoffs now, you know? Like, all of these things that make college football what it was, the traditions, blah, 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 are gone, you know? Or they're either gone or they're on their way out. So Florida State fans are going to feel like this is a major victory for them, and it really is. But let me ask you this, because you're not getting in the Big Ten. I'm almost certain of that. You would go to the SEC most likely, and you'll have a ceiling of 7 wins. And that's what's going to happen. So enjoy your money, and at best 6 or 7 wins a season over there. The other team that's getting thrown around is it's like Florida State, Clemson, and then the other golden child is North Carolina. Good, I hope they get out tomorrow too. F them. Stick it up your asses. Get out. I'm fine with it. What do you think North Carolina's record, if they were in the SEC over the past decade, would be? You think it'd be a north or south of 500? You see what I'm saying? Again, all these people think money is their solution to their problems. Well, go get it. Go get it and prove Reck wrong. Go get the $30 million more a year and win a natty every other year, every third year, and prove me wrong. I don't think you're going to do it, though. Now, what does this mean? I'm a Georgia Tech fan. What does this mean for Georgia Tech? I'm not entirely sure. They were the 4th highest rated TV brand in this 5-year rolling average, and the most watched, highest rated program last year. Boy, Georgia Tech having the year that they did last year, and really the games that they played last year, made all the difference in the world. So I think Georgia Tech's going to be okay. I think Georgia Tech, if you just made me say today, like if the ACC imploded today, where would they end up? I'd probably say the Big Ten. Like, it's going to be the Big Ten or it's going to be the Big 12. I think there's a 0% chance they end up in the SEC. Nor do I really want to be in the SEC. I'd much rather be in the Big Ten. But even if Tech, in other words, they're going to be a power program no matter where they end up. What does this mean for teams like Boston College, Wake Forest, Syracuse? You know, Syracuse, that's been a fun little back and forth I've had since I went up there last year with their fans. But for a team like Syracuse, this is probably the end for them. Certainly of being a power whatever, power 4, power 3 school, because all that these conference realignment, whatever, care about is TV ratings, what you bring in, and viewership and sales, blah, blah, blah. And that kills me, man. That kills me. Like, I have a ton of respect for Wake and Boston College. Again, people are phrasing this like, oh, these are, the milk takers and the milk producers. And it's absolutely killing college football. Yeah, I mean, Florida State had like 15% of the viewership for the ACC last year. Or over the past 5, they averaged 15%, I think. Yeah, I mean, that means that 85% was the rest of the schools. So if you take out Florida State, Clemson, and, Miami, the rest of them, that's probably 60%. That's still half of the viewership that other people. Also, this is what people don't realize. You need teams like Wake Forest and Boston College, and where, Duke's much better, but Duke's kind of fit in this, to beat the shit out of. That you need those teams. Just like the SEC has needed Vandy and Mississippi State and those teams to beat up on. If you were to just make, kick all these milk suckers out of the ACC and backfill them, like in a fantasy scenario with all blue blood type teams. Well, now, you just have like a top 10 hardest schedule in the country every year, top 5. And you'd be thinking, man, I wish I had a Wake Forest to beat up on right now. So, you're not going to convince me that they don't contribute, anything to you. I mean, they go play it. So, anyways, it's a sad day. I've kind of accepted that this is just the way it is. And I also think there is the tiniest bit of hope. Like, Florida State's going to get out whenever they're certain they have a landing spot. They'll be gone. But there could still be a scenario where the ACC can survive as a power conference. There could be. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about the settlement? What's changed? What it means for your school? What it means for college football? And check me out tonight on College Football Mafia with Mo and After Dark. Y'all have a good one.